morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the YOUNIB Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to start your day. So today's affirmation is, I replace self-doubt with self-confidence. So today, we will be telling ourselves we are replacing self-doubt with self-confidence, yeah? So as it is the norm here at the YOUNIB Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. So yes, today we're going to be discussing about the dilemma of the right time for marriage. I know this is a conversation that most of you mnataka kuisikia because many people have been asking themselves, am I too old to get married? Or am I too young to get married? Or when should I know I'm supposed to get married? And to help us tackle this conversation is not a new face, yeah? She's already, tunafaa kumuita sasa resident guest hapa YOUNIB Breakfast Show, yeah? So without wasting time, I'd like her to introduce herself.
Thank you, Peninah.
Karibu.
How are you, viewers? My name is Nancy Karoki Ndirangu. I'm now a regular, as she says,
yeah.
And I always feel at home. And I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm also a mediator. And I love spending time mostly with the young people and discussing life with them. Thank you.
Karibu sana YOUNIB Breakfast Show. Please feel at home. I know you're already at home. So,
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Anyway, let's start the conversation. I know most people will ask themselves, okay, because I've had people saying, I regret marrying earlier. Another person also told me that I regret marrying too late. So today, yes, we are here to tackle this question. But before we get to that, is marriage important?
Yeah, marriage is important, actually very, very important because, we're human beings and we did not create ourselves. We actually follow a system that is not made by human beings, but by God. If you go to the Bible, for Christians, the very first thing it talks about is marriage. You see, the first marriage is talked about in Genesis, and the last thing talked about in the Bible in Revelation is still marriage. So if we follow what God said, and we are human beings, marriage is very, very important. Yeah, though some people may feel, why? Okay, sometimes we get misconceptions. Some people will tell you, marriages has working, but it's not yours. Yeah. You're talking about somebody else's marriage that it did not work. What makes you think yours will not work? You see, so we have a misconception. If you focus on another person's mistakes and assume that you are going to live the same life, where do you call a makosa? Yeah.
So marriage is important. People out there, it's important to get married. Even the Bible itself says it, yeah? So I want us now to go to how much do age and maturity really play a role in choosing the right time to get married?
Yeah, it plays a very long and important role. Because how are you going to get married when you're not even mature yourself? You're not even able to take care of yourself. How will you take care of another person and other people who will come as a result of the marriage? Age matters a lot. There's an age when you are psychologically okay, mentally okay, spiritually okay. You are at the age where you understand everything completely. You know you are able to contain your emotions up to a certain level. You are able to understand the other person. You are able to rely on yourself. You are able to take responsibility over actions. So age matters.
Okay, so now we've understood. I know all of us are asking ourselves the right age, but you see, we've been told that age really matters when it comes to deciding when to get married, yeah? So I want us to know more about society and cultural expectations. Do they really influence when people should get married?
A lot. Okay, if you are able to take care of your life as you, and people see you are self-driven, they may not interfere a lot. But now, when it comes to society and culture, it is not flat because it depends on where one comes from. In some cultures, 16 is an age for somebody to get married, and especially for ladies. In some cultures, and especially where formal education is not embraced as much, there may not be so much that you are living for other than getting married. So the parents will decide in that case. They get you hooked up with somebody else and you married. In other cultures where people go for formal education, you go and you complete your studies, you get a job. Then after some time, people start asking, hey, watu samani akina auntie? You go to a wedding, aunties are asking, na yako ni siku gani? Then if you are not self-driven, you feel so influenced, you feel so pushed. So utaharakisha uolewe labda huku kwa ready. Okay, at the end of it all, it should not be like that. It should come from the people who are getting married, the couple. The man should be ready, the lady should also be ready. But when it is influenced by your friends, ati kila mtu kwa sako yako ameolewa, everybody is telling you the same. Niwe umebaki tu, you may end up making a mistake.
You've said that, na nikakumbuka there's a friend of mine alikuwa ananiambia we have reached that age ya kuulizwa na ma-uncle na auntie, when are you getting married? Ila kwa kando na kuja naambiwa na wewe haufikiri tuletee mtu tunataka kumuona. But it's a funny thing that sometimes when you are small, your parents don't want you to talk about it anyway. Hawataki kukuona na a boyfriend, they don't want to see you with anybody, a man gender if you're a lady, and if you're a guy, okay, for guys it's better because them that's their nature, but for ladies inakuanga very very shocking. But anyway, life is funny. Every stage between you change. So I want us to now talk about finances. I love finance. I love conversations about financing. I love. So can financial stability be a deciding factor in determining the right time to get married?
Yes and no. But yes, it has more weight than the no. Because no, you want to get married. What are you going to eat? Where are you going to live? If it's a man is supposed to provide from what God said, though not for everything. Now the lady does not do anything, but there are three basic needs. There's food, shelter, and clothing. Are you able to dress yourself? Are you able to pay your own accommodation? Are you able to feed yourself? Because supposing you still live with your parents, they still pay your school fees, and you want to get married. Now, by the way, let me go back, Kidogo, to what you have said. There is time for everything. Definitely there will be time for everything. When your parents didn't want to see you with a man, it's because it was not the right age for you to be seen around with a man. And so many things will happen. Even for men, there's an age, if you're seen with a girl, wazazi watakuwa concerned. Unataka kuniletea shida na msichana wa wenyewe, unafanya nini na msichana wa wenyewe? So finances matter a lot, though now that one also becomes a bit controversial. When we go to the aspect of how much money, it is not about how much, but are you able to pay your accommodation? Depending on you, where do you want to live? Is it realistic? Because sometimes you may get married to, you may wish to get married to somebody who wants to live in a particular area that you cannot afford, but you have money. Some people get married and their salaries are very little and they live because you live according to your means. Once you put it in your mind that you live according to your means, finance is now assorted.
Okay, so you've made me also think about the question of, is there a right time to move in?
Yeah, definitely there is. Because now this one may not be guided by how old you are, but how old are you into the courtship? How old are you into the relationship? Do you know one another properly? And before you know each other, do you know you? Do you know yourself? Do you understand fully who you are, what you want, what are your expectations, what are you able to give? Because it's not only about expectations. What part are you going to play? Based on that, if two people are totally in agreement and you have done a courtship, it may not be 10 years courtship. It may not be 1 year courtship, depending on people. There are people who are not so quick to give information about themselves. The others will not even ask. Some things may be still not coming out so openly. So the moment mko kabisa sawa, unajua sisi tunajuana sasa. Although kujuana pia ukuja after marriage. Hii kujuana ingine achana hiyo. Hiyo achana nayo. Hiyo before marriage, you know nothing. But hiyo ndio the right time ya kumove in. Saa ile uko very comfortable na the other person. Na unajua weakness zake na utazihandle. Unajua temperament yake, unajua strength yake. You see, that's the right time.
Okay, so is it okay for somebody to move in before marriage with the couple, for example?
Well, that's a bit tricky and well, sitaki kuita controversial.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu unajua when we go the spiritual way and which we are supposed to, you're supposed to wait until you have gotten married, then you start living together.
Yeah.
But realistically, si tuko hapa, we know circumstances may not allow. Kwa sababu if you talk about a wedding, see if there is a financial responsibility there. Sometimes samtaki ka wedding kadogo, kuna stories za rorasho dowry payments, ndio? Before yoyote ifanyike, mtafanya wedding, ndio? Supposing you are not able to do that, okay, so moving in, you can, but not just like that. With the involvement of the parents. Tunafanyanga traditional weddings. Yeah, when you involve the parents, both parties, the guy introduces the lady to his parents and vice versa, and the parents get to know each other. They start their negotiations. Negotiations do not necessarily mean ati mumeenda mumelipa mahari, apana, but just be in the loop. Just know their requirements and yeah, you can move in. But sasa hiyo si ati you have moved in before marriage. Already that's a marriage. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we go wrong, thinking that people just come with stay is not part of marriage.
No.
So traditionally you have gotten married.
You have done it because it's actually your parents have given their blessings. They have given their word. They know huyu wako na huyu, hawa wako pamoja. As long as they know that, that's a marriage. Yes.
Awesome. I hope, guys, you're following on this conversation. And these are the conversations that we have always been asking ourselves. Is there time, or when is the right time that I'm supposed to get married? Remember to interact with us through our social media platform, YOUNIB_TV on Instagram, YOUNIB Media TV on Facebook. And there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. For now, let's take this short break and we'll be back with more conversations about this topic at hand. Welcome back. This is still the YOUNIB Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera, and my lovely guest here. And we are here to discuss about the right time of marriage. This is a question, again, as I said, that we've been asking ourselves. And today we are coming to tackle it and to get to understand more on how we should be ready to get married. Yeah. So back to our conversation. Yeah. So how important is it for somebody to work on their personal growth and self-awareness before getting into marriage?
A very important question. Because before I decide to get married, I must be self-aware of myself. What are my weaknesses? Sometimes you have underlying issues within you. Have you sorted them out? Because if you go with baggage, it will always be a burden. And now, don't forget, you are no longer living alone. You are with another person. Yes. Somebody who may not even know what your childhood was like, what baggage you're coming from. You must be very, very aware, self-aware. You know, I can take this, I cannot take this. I am selfish, I'm not selfish. But kila mtu anajuaga weakness zake. Unaona hata watu wana tabia mbaya. Wanajua. Unajua mimi upenda kusumbua, mimi napenda kuiba tu vitu twa watu. Mimi ABCD. I must know that. And the moment you may realize hizi vitu si poa sana, they're not very acceptable to other people, I work on me. The moment I work on me, I clear my childhood traumas if they are there. Not everybody has. Yeah. I deal with fear that I may have. I heal maybe from a previous bad relationship. Unajua saa zingine ulikuwa kwa relationship haikuwaka, ilikuwa na so many issues. Yeah. Have you healed? Have you addressed? Labda wewe ndio ulikuwa umecontribute. So umelan ukajua mimi I'm this person, I'm capable of breaking up somebody's heart because of ABCD. Have I learned? So the moment you do that, and you also know your value, your worth, and you are also principles. You have them, and you know, and you are moral standing. That time you are ready to make a decision in marriage. Yes.
Okay, so now you know, guys, you know better, right? So I want us now to go to the factors that we should consider before getting married, or when getting married, when deciding.
Okay, there are definitely factors. Because first of all, you now know who you are, what you want in life, what is your purpose. Are you in school? Have you finished? If not, why am I going to get married? How? I had maybe said I would finish schooling, I get a job, then I start living on my own, and it's for both. It's for both ladies and men. The men. Then what am I looking for in a marriage? Who am I? First of all, every time you go back to who am I? Because you can't cope with everybody. We are human beings. There are people, by the way, totally hata kumsalimia tu. Huwezi na ukimsalimia, there is nothing else you say. Those people utaraim nao haraka sana. So factors ni wewe, maturity yako, you the person. Umefika level gani ya hii life? Umeachieve goal gani ulikuwa umeset? Na si hizi goals unrealistic. You know, goals have to be smart. Yeah, they have to be smart. Kama umeachieve goals zako, and realistically you know mimi niko sawa, then you can move on and get married. And you know, you're not just getting married. The time you're asking yourself, am I ready for marriage? You are definitely in a relationship. Kwa sababu ukiamuka tu ufikirie I'm ready for marriage, uko na mtu. Hauna mtu. Yeah.
Okay. So kwanza unatafuta mtu, alafu now you decide.
No, utafuti mtu.
Mtu anakutafuta, depending.
Mnatafutana kwa sababu no honest. Okay, though naturally for ladies, kuna hiyo na wacha tusiende beyond. Wacha utafutwe. Wacha mtu akuje na box yake ya kuingize juu. Saa zingine nasikia mtu akisema mimi hata niko na box yangu nataka nijiingize. Hapana. Usiende na box yako, acha akuje nayo. Akuingize kwa box. Although pia kuna ile part utaplay kwa sababu utakaa tu kwa nyumba expect mtu akupate. No, honestly, there are those things. You will have to look good. You have to take care of yourself. You know, self-care. You'll have to do your hair. You will have to... Nasisemi ati you are now doing that, marketing yourself. But no, you have to look good. Hakuna mtu atakutaka kabla kuwe attracted na vile ameona. Yeah.
So look good.
You have
even men should look good.
Of course. You have to be well groomed, well behaved. You know, hata etiquette. Okay, not maybe to the extreme, but there's a standard way mtu ako supposed kukaa, mtu anataka kupendwa ama kupendana. Juu utakuja ovyo ovyo, including the way you talk, and also depending on wewe area yako ya expectations za bwana iko wapi ama za bibi. Yeah.
Okay. So very important. I hope you guys are taking notes. As I usually say, when you're watching the YOUNIB Breakfast Show, you need to have your notebooks and your pens, because it's only here that you get information that will change your life. Yeah. Na pia we give you information that will help you go thinking about your own life uko nje, and trying also to help you be able to become a better person. Yeah. Only on the YOUNIB Breakfast Show. So please, if you know of a friend who needs this conversation or who needs to hear this conversation, please share this conversation and let them know, so that they can be it can be of help to them. Okay, so back to the question now, the question of the day, enye najua kila mtu anangoja. Yeah, is there a difference between the right time to get married for men and for women?
Yeah, definitely there is, because naturally ladies will mature faster than men. Now if you are 23 years a lady and a guy of 23, imagine hamfikiriangi the same. Your visions are not even the same. Your bodies are not matured the same. Even your brain, even, you know, the way you view things is not the way they view. For example, ladies mature faster than men. Because, you know, ladies are homekeepers. In marriage, it's about home. And I'm not talking about ati ladies who only stay at home. I mean, but ladies are seen to be home managers. Yeah. When men are supposed to provide for the family, meaning they go out to provide. A lady of 20 years, for example, can sustain a marriage, a home, very comfortably, kwa sababu unajua ni kitu ameishia kione ikifanyika, hata ameachiwa watoto at some point. But a man, yeye focus yake iko na outside world, focusing on careers, focusing on kununua shamba, focusing on kesho, you know, investment, a lot of things. So there's totally there's a limit for ladies that is different, and there's a limit for men that is different. Mostly for men, they will not get married when they are very, very young. Okay, some maybe have done it and it has worked. Yeah. And I would say by God's grace, you know, men are a bit adventurous. Yeah. You see, sometimes atawa saa hizi, lakini atakakaa kesho a realize hapa ni kama sikucheza poa hapa ni kama, na sasa atajiingiza kwa shida, si unaona? Whereas for ladies, actually for most ladies, when they decide to get married, it's for life. Ameolewa kabisa kabisa, ni kitu alikuwa amedecide, na yeye haendagi kuolewa ati anaenda kutest the waters. Yeah. Imagine ameenda kuishi. So age lazima iangaliwe sana. And let me tell you something, Peninah, people may take for granted. People of the same age, wakioana iwak, it takes the hand of God. Haimaanishi it doesn't take the hand of God in other marriages, but the strength will be too much. Kwa sababu first of all, ladies, including looks, mostly, utakaa mzee haraka kumuliko. Na unajua watu, bado wananga seriousness zingine we unataka kuweka, si ndio? And then you will become his mother if you're not careful. So wewe bora unataka kukua mama ya mtu na ni bwana yako, wacha wewe utreatiwe like a queen, you know, like the small girl you are, kwa sababu yeye anazeeka kukuliko. Wacha kwa yeye ndiye anatumia akili mingi, si wewe. Wacha kwa yeye ndiye ako faster than you, kwa sababu he's the man at the end of the day. Unajua wanaume na masculinity, anataka pia kuwa superior. Yes, so wacha mtu older than you akuje.
Okay. Sasa nataka kukuweka motoni. Is there like, sasa unaweza tupea an age bracket for ladies, like from this side, this specific age unaweza fikiria kuanza get married, and also for men?
Yeah, okay. Although nowadays, as you know, I spend so much time with young people, and sometimes they tell me things that get me to think. Siku hizi kuna misconception na your age, thinking that older people like us and others older than me, ati sisi tuliolewa mapema sana, we did not understand life, sijui nini. But let me tell you something, nothing has changed. Ni lifestyle too. The human nature is the same. When you are a certain age, mbona una change tabia? Why do people still get gray hair? Hakuna kitu imechange in human nature. So for ladies kuna zile vitu hufanyika biologically kwa mwili zetu, si ndio? Zina change. Kuna ile time mwili yako inagoja uzae watoto. Wewe unakataa, inafika pahali itaanza kukataa sasa juu ulizoesha hakuna, itaanza kukua na shida. Okay, I'm not so good in this in that type of conversation because it's not my line. I'm not in the medical field.
Yeah.
But tushaambiwa so many times after a certain age hata kuzaa mtoto itakusumbua sana kwa sababu mwili yako ilikataa kufunguka when it was supposed to. For men pia they get used to this easy life of no responsibilities. Unazoea inaenda overboard. When you talk about now age, I would say, you see, after 23 years, 23, 24, 25, actually that is the best time to get married for a lady.
For ladies. Because
you are very strong, you're energetic, your body is good, you are good in all aspects. Mpaka sura. Watu wa 25 years unaona wanakaje? Sini nini? Very, very smart, very nice, ako fast, ako quick. You can do a lot of things. Even emotionally, you are still okay. You are very, very okay. Because we also make a mistake. When we say that hakuna age ya kuolewa, and then people say, mi sitaki kukimbia sana, nataka nisome kwanza, it's okay. Nataka sijui nifike miaka ngapi. Don't forget, nobody's there waiting for you.
Nataka pesa yangu.
Haya, watu si washaenda, washawana. Na usisahau, I told you, it's only lifestyle that changes. Human nature doesn't. You are growing older. Mwili yako kuna vitu hata itaki tena, hata utaki kwenda out. Hata utaki kelele mingi. Si unaona? For the guys, after 30, honestly, you are ready to get married. Kwa sababu, kuna vitu nyingi sana za kuconsider. You are getting married. After married, you expect to have children. You are responsible for these children. People retire mostly at the age of 60. Let's say maybe the government policy. Ask yourself a question. If you do not marry at the logically right time to get married, mtoto wako atakuwa na miaka ngapi saa ile una retire? Because honestly, that is something that squeeze me face sana na young people. Mtu ananiambia, acha nikwambie, mimi siwezi olewa before ni hit 37. Sasa utazaa mtoto na 39, si ndio? Atakuwa na miaka ngapi wewe ukiwa na 60 years? Na ni wa kwanza saa hiyo. And you know, definitely you don't want to give birth to one child. Hata unaweza za triplets. Si ni watoto watatu. Huo mzigo si ni mwingi sana. For men, unasema mimi nakwambia mimi nitakaa mpaka 40. Mimi siwezi sumbuka na haraka. But still, watoto wako watakuwa aje? And you know, by the way, there is something people also ignore. Stigma that children face. Because, you know, there's a right time for everything. Your child is in grade 1, 6 years. So you're 6, 7 years. How old are you when your child is in grade 1? Then you attend a school meeting. Watoto by the way uchekeleana. Yes, I have my own children, and when they were younger, there are those things they would tell me. Unaona so and so. Akima maki anakaa kama shosho yake ni mzee. You know, that is stigma for children. Sindio? So by the way, sisi tuna ignore a lot of things, imagining that time is waiting for us. It's not waiting for us. And you know, now time changed. See kama kitambo. Kitambo people used to work for so long. Nowadays ni watu wangapi wanakaa in employment for so long?
Kidogo.
Actually, after 50, so many people get retrenched. Retirement happens early. Companies downsize. They start by age. So no. That is very tricky and very important to note.
So just know your right time. That is what we are trying to say, yeah? So remember, you can always interact with us through our social media platform, YOUNIB_TV on Instagram, YOUNIB Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Remember to ask your questions there. We'll be here to answer them and to help you also know when is your right time. So I want us to take this short break and we'll be back with more. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still the YOUNIB Breakfast Show, and we are talking about the right time of marriage. Remember to use the hashtag YBS or YOUNIB Breakfast Show with Peninah Wachera, and let us know your views when it comes to this discussion. Yeah. So I cannot talk about the right time of marriage without also asking the age difference of the couples. So is it important to actually have a good age difference for men and women who are couples?
Oh yes. Kwa sababu gani? We said earlier, and it's common knowledge, ladies mature faster than men.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, now supposing wewe uolewe na mtu wa the same age na wewe ama mtu younger than you, what happens? Kutakuwa na conflict every time kwa sababu when you are older than this guy, wewe utakuwa unamuona kama mtoto, and then he will always feel inferior. Every time you tell them something, hata kama mmekosana na uko right, ataona ni kama unamcommand just because you imagine you know a lot more, sindio? Afu si kuna space yako as the woman.
Yeah.
Sasa wewe utawezaje? Ni kama you put two children together, one is 10 years, another one is 4 years. You tell them to compete in a race, hawatawezana. Strength yao sio the same, sindio? For men, they should be at least, okay, maybe 3 years older than you, 5 years. Pia isiende beyond. Juu pia ikienda beyond 10 years na uko 15 years, that's your father now.
Yeah.
And you know, we make a mistake when we are starting marriage because we focus on today. Think about 20 years from today. For example, you are getting married to somebody who is 20 years your senior. It has happened, sindio? Ako 40 years, yuko 20 years. It's still okay. Saa hizi. In fact, utaambia watu, this guy is still okay. He's still energetic. We can still give back. We can still go places. Now, when you are 50, this person will be 70 years old. When you are 50, you are still active. In so many areas, you are still actually uko at the peak. Sindio? Mtu wa 70 anataka nini na nini? Anakohoa, anasikia baridi saa ile kuna jua, haoni vitu vizuri, hataki food sijui gani, unataka kwenda coast, unataka kwenda sijui wapi, utaenda na nani? So wewe utaishi ukienda na wamama watama. Yes, ama yeye ataenda na the boys. Okay, honestly, vitu zingine, they are natural. Hatuwezi change, it's in the human nature. Sindio?
Yeah.
So we should be very careful. Age gap, not too low, not too big. Juu iko suppose kukua brain capacity yenu wawili iko mature. Mko kwa level inawezana. Okay, for some people watasema imework, but and especially the one that the gap is too big, watasema imework juu wanaongelelea current. Ngoja wafike mmoja amezeeka sana. It will be issues.
Yeah.
It will be issues kwa sababu menopause happens, huyu haelewi nini na kusumbua juu hayuko hapo. You are in midlife crisis, hajafika huko bado. Si unaona? Yeye aliritaya kitambo sana, wewe you are still working. Your job needs you to travel a lot. Anapikiwa na nani? Si unaona?
Yeah.
So too big, too small.
It's a problem.
Hapa lazima tukue realistic.
Okay, so umesikia, don't go too high, because there are people who are saying I'd rather date somebody who is 10 years. We have the gap of 10 years, and unashanga, you just umeambiwa usidate baba yako anyway. So back to the conversation. Should people wait for us like to fulfill their life milestones before getting married?
Well, yes and no. And no, hapa iko na weight mingi kuliko yes, kwa sababu supposing the goals you have set yourself are too far away from hapa, kitambo uzipate utakuwa umeenda far sana, si ndio? Supposing you do not achieve them. For example, you tell yourself, I will not get married, and I'm talking about either sex. I'm not going to get married before I get to this level of education. Na umeanza tu vizuri, hata umeangalia age ukaona by the time I'm 25 I will have my masters and I will start on with my PhD.
Yeah.
But along the line, a calamity befalls you. Something happens. Whoever was, maybe if your parents were paying for you, hawako tena, they are no longer able. If you are paying for yourself, job imekatika. These things happen. Okay, people get into accidents.
Yeah.
Utoke kwanza system kiasi. Sindio? Tunaona hiyo imekuslow.
Yeah.
Sasa utagoja upone na saa zingine hujui kama hii kupone itatake muda gani. Sometimes ni job iliisha, hujui kama utapata ingine. So by the time now you stand up again on your feet and you start refocusing on your goal, ni miaka ngapi? Then sometimes you are talking about now you. Let's say I'm talking about me. I have to achieve this and that. Kuna mse ananitaka. Yeye hana goals kama hizo. Na ukweli mse na mimi, ni ile tunasemaga made in heaven. Si ndio? Huyu atanigojea. Hapo ni tricky sana kwa sababu if I have a goal like that one and a thought like that, lazima pia ikuwe the same goal na huu mtu mwingine, tuko in the same wavelength. Yeye anaelewa mimi lazima, nishaona ikiwork by the way, when people talk. People are in courtship, but wameambiana we have to get to this milestone first before we get married. Lakini sasa unaona ni we, not me. If it's me, unfortunately, utapitwa na wakati. Kwa sababu not everybody is going to wait for you. Some people are not even dating you or courting you because of now you kabisa. Yeye anataka mtu wa kuoa. Atapata mtu na aoe. People get married sometimes for different reasons. Hiyo ya goal ni tricky.
So ni wewe uangalie pali imefika.
Ni kuangalia utaangalia.
Yeah? Okay, so I'd like us now to discuss more about when. Okay, so how do you know? How does somebody know that I am really, truly ready to take now the vow or to get married?
Okay, now this one, it does not come from one person. Kwa sababu mimi naweza kuwa niko ready to get married and my partner labda hayuko ready, si ndio?
Yeah.
But we assume now we are in a healthy courtship. Tumefika pahali proposal imekuja, mtu amesimamisha gari zote tao, amenil, amepropose. Wacha tu assume hapo ndio tuko, si ndio?
Yeah.
Mimi ndio ni court huyu mtu mpaka tufikie ati yeye amepropose. Ni nini nilifanya ikamfikisha hapo? Si definitely kuna vitu.
Yeah.
So how do I feel about this person? Because if it's genuine, I will definitely know. Yenyewe mimi siwezi kaa siku mbili bila huyu mtu. The time when you fall in love with somebody, you start getting used to that person, you become so tight, hata hamtaki kupata. Hata unataka tu kila saa muongee kwa simu, muongee. Amekuintroduce kwao, umeintroduce kwenu. They know so much about you. By the way, I know everything about a person ni uongo. Even in marriage, their faces. You don't know a person completely. Hakuna siku utajua because atagojeka huku kwa umejua vile na behave akigojeka. Si ndio?
Yeah.
But there is a comfortable time. Unasema mimi na huyu msee tunaelewana. Hapo ya kuelewana ni poa sana. But lazima we mwenyewe ujue very, very seriously. I'm getting into this marriage. Mtu si bradhangu, mtu si babangu. This is not my sister, this is not my mother. Huyu culture yake ni tofauti sana na yangu. I'm ready to learn even the language. I'm ready to eat what they eat. I'm ready to live huko anaishingi. We are ready to start doing things together. I'm ready to change this. I'm ready to learn this. This one I'm not going to change. I will make sure he changes to this. You see?
Yeah.
So that is the time you can now say, mi niko sawa.
And when should now couples approach this conversation of marriage? Ni lini?
A couple that is in courtship.
Yeah.
Unajua pia, si tunaongea about logic. Unajua time waits for no man. Sasa nyinyi mmekot. Hata watu wanafikirianga nyinyi ni bibi na bwana. You always together. Mko tu pamoja. There comes that time, honestly, you have to now think about what next. Kwa sababu, if you overcoat, itaisha. Don't forget, ni nyinyi wawili mko kwa hiyo courtship. There are so many other people wanawataka. The lady ako na admirers wake, the guy the same, si ndio?
Yeah.
So mki overstay pia inaweza sasa lose meaning, si ndio? So saa zile mumeona to an extent, na si 100%, hakunanga kitu inaitwa timu kwa 100%, hakunanga kama hiyo. Wewe utaona I'm able to cope with this person.
Yeah.
Na huyu mwingine the same, tunawezana, I'm able to tunakomplementiana vizuri sana, height yake nini, then you're supposed to talk about it. Na sasa hii may not be guided by time ati tumekot for 3 years, tumekot for 6 months.
Yeah.
Hapana, ni saa ile unajua I'm very very comfortable. Both of us tunafikirianga the same, tunaona vitu the same way, we are there for one another. Now you start talking about marriage. And by the way, still on that, lazima muelewe kwa nini mnaenda kwa hiyo marriage. What are your expectations in that? What is your future together? What are your future prospects?
And if they align, then it's good.
If they align, that's good. Mtasumbuana huko mbele sasa. Ikifika ni marriage, pia kuna zile vitu mtakutana nazo huko hamkuwa mmejua.
Okay, so what is the role, or what role does the family and peer pressure play in decisions to get married?
If you allow the family and the society and your peers to live your life for you, utasumbuka sana. You know, if you are self-driven, I don't see why there should be a negative influence for you to get married.
Yeah.
It depends on how you portray yourself. Kama wewe kila decision lazima isukumwe kwako, utasumbuka. Now society pia, sijui kama siku moja tutaita society meeting tuikataze kufanya vitu zingine. Unajua society ni sisi, me and you, we are the society.
Yeah.
History ya ku-expect kila mtu aolewe the same time wewe uliolewa, it is wrong because things do not happen the same time.
Yeah.
No. But why are people influencing you? Kwa sababu kuna maybe kitu umeportray wakaona ni kama huelewi. Let people understand that you are in charge of your life, you are in control. Okay, sometimes you may not be also aware that huko unaenda sasa ni off. But as long as you are still within your age, kwa sababu it depends on the society. There is a society, wewe uko 20 years, hujawahi oa, hujaiolewa,
Yeah.
you are too late. Kwa sababu huko watu wa 20 wako mpaka na watoto. There are people, they are 30 wako na wajukuu, depending on where they come from. In some societies, you must go to school, umalize a certain level, very high level, you get a job, you get a certain amount of money, you invest, then ufikirie marriage. Other families watakwambia, unajua sisi hata babu yako alioa akiwa na 20 years, wewe mbona hujaoa na umenemewa after babu yako? Si unaona?
Yeah.
The other areas that influence people, hiyo hata si society ukuambia, ni mtu ujiambia. Beste zako wote wameshaolewa. Unakaa ukijiambia, ni mimi tu sijaolewa. Unajua sasa hiyo ni self-inflicted influence.
Yeah.
Wewe utaenda mpaka ujifix kwa mtu hujui ndio uolewe. Watu wengine you want to get married, ufilishe mtu amekuacha. Yes, yaliniacha. Mazina kuambia next week nitakuwa nimeoa, mimi nitakuwa nimepata mtu, mimi nitakuwa na mtu, na nitakuwa nishatembea na mtu. So sio ni influence wewe mwenyewe umejiletea.
Yeah.
Hii ingine mabeste zako wote wameolewa na tuseme mtu kutoka a certain area, and especially wazungu. Unasema mimi nakwambia lazima niolewe na mzungu, nitampata. Mimi nitatafuta hata kama ni wapi, nitaenda socials nitatafuta. So unaona sasa hiyo ni yako.
Yeah.
So si society kila saa ina ku-influence, but most important when you are self-driven, society haitakupata.
Okay, so this has been an interesting conversation, yeah? So tukimalizia, I'd like you to look at the camera and say a parting shot to the people about now the conversation we've just had.
Yeah, actually, I have found the conversation very, very interesting also for me. And I want to tell the young people, married si mbaya. Sijui mbona criminalize sana, but imagine it's a very good thing. It comes from God. It is wonderful. Saa ile we mwenyewe utacheza poa. You go there self-aware of why you are going there. Afu usiende na over expectation. Hapana. We cheza tu vile uko. Usiongeze anything na usitoe anything kwako. And then also be open-minded. It'a work vizuri sana. Anyway, thank you so much for this. My name is Nancy Karoki Ndirangu, as I always say. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm also a mediator. And I love spending time with the young people.
Thank you so much for always coming here and always informing us. It's always good conversations anytime you're here. So asante sana for your time. Yeah. To everyone who has made this show a success, thank you so much, Elias Mushina, for being the director and also the camera person. We also have a camera woman behind the scene. Yeah. And thank you so much, Oprah, for the good work you guys are doing, yeah? And to you, my viewers, thank you so much for always sharing. Remember to use the hashtag #UniBreakfastShow or YBS in this conversation, okay? So that you can always be able to speak to you and interact with you fully. So thank you so much for your time. Until next time, do have a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.